Welcome to tonight's SFCN Channel 17 coverage of the Provo Bulldogs versus Spanish Fort Dons basketball game. Tonight's game is brought to you by Doug Smith Auto, MVP Sports, and the Car Guys. It's a great night for basketball. The Spanish Fort Dons now on top, tied with Maple Mountain in region play, Chris. This is going to be a big game for Spanish Fort tonight. They beat the Bulldogs by 4 at Provo, but Provo, they're a team, they don't like to go away.
Yeah, they don't like to go away, and that first game was an intense battle, close back and forth game. So tonight could go either way, and Provo's just one game behind at 5-3 in region play, and they're looking for a chance to beat Maple Mountain and Spanish Fork here. Like actually, their previous game last Friday they did beat Maple Mountain, so they're a very capable team.
Maple Mountain taking on Timpview tonight over at Timpview High School. That's going to be a tough game. Spanish Fort gets a win tonight. They very well may be, and we'll cover this a little later on in the broadcast. According to my prediction, the Dons will be alone atop the region after tonight's game.
Yeah, we did a little staff predictions for tonight's games, and all 6 of us had Spanish Fork winning, and 3 of us had Maple Mountain, and 3 of us had Timpview. And Alan and I, as pessimistic as we are about Maple Mountain basketball, picked Timpview.
Yeah, well, I'm not pessimistic about them. I just think Timpview's a tough team, and
they're going to be angry. They're going to be angry with that first game, but we're going to have a battle tonight.
Yeah, let's worry about this one at hand first and foremost. The Dons being led, in the last 2 games, Spanish Fork has outscored opponents by 60 points. Of course, that big 44-point win against Salem Hills, and then a 16-point win up at Wasatch High School, which is a really tough place to play.
And both those teams are in playoff contention. That's really a five teams in region chasing down those 4 spots, but tonight, if you're Spanish Fork, you're going to have to worry about Hunter and Braxton Bailey, the law firm of Bailey and Bailey.
That's right.
As Hunter comes in averaging nearly 20 points a game.
Chase Piggott, Cy Wright, Hunter Bailey, Connor O'Neill, and Braxton Bailey. On the floor for the Bulldogs and Dons with their typical starting 5, Connor Anderson, along with Hunter Schofield. And they have Parker Bowman underneath, out on the guard line, Benson Reese and Taylor Anderson, as Provo wins the tip and gets it first. And they'll go after the Dons early underneath.
The first thing I recognize is I don't see Bowman out there, but yes, he has cut the fro, and now he is put in 20 last game.
That's right. Maybe that hair going away did it, but a nice start for the Provo Bulldogs. A 3-ball by Cy Wright. Dons in possession. Bowman, Benson Reese, Spanish Fork eyeballing his own defense here early from the Provo Bulldogs as the Dons will turn it over, and they got a hold against the Bulldogs underneath. We thought we had a turnover, did not.
That's because Braxton Bailey, the younger of the Bailey brothers, holds on there. He's just a sophomore for Provo. Yeah. Provo's got a lot of talent coming back. They're only playing 2 or 3 seniors this season.
Schofield underneath. He's going to go hard. The shot blocked, but Connor Anderson there to clean up the trash.
Great job by Connor. He only averages 4 points, but he gets those tough rebounds and is a big body down low for Spanish Fork.
Clears a lot of space underneath. Cy Wright going to Braxton Bailey. Had 23 against the Dons the first time these two met. Misses a shot. Here come the Dons. Benson Reese across top of the circle. Goes back to Bowman. Bowman loses it momentarily and then kicks it out. Schofield, jumper, no. High off the iron, and rebound to Bailey. Braxton Bailey, that is. He gets it to Hunter.
Yeah, Hunter hit a big game-winning shot against Timpview a couple weeks ago.
Yes, he did.
And unfortunately for Provo, when they played Spanish Fork earlier, he fouled out, or he'd probably been taking the last shot in that game. Instead, they turned it over, and Spanish Fork hit a couple free throws, and that was the difference in that game.
Blocked shot by Spanish Fork. It rolls out, goes back to the Bulldogs.
And Provo looks a little out of sorts here against this man-to-man defense, and both
Bowman
teams
get the
playing
steal.
Great defense.
Bowman wants to take it himself. Delays, gets it to Schofield. He pumps it up and misses. Rebound, Anderson. Connor Anderson with the first 2 buckets of the game for the Dons. And it's a 4-3 Spanish Fork lead. Connor already meeting his season average.
Hey, he does it early, and that's a good sign, getting him involved. Maybe he'll stay a little more focused on the defensive end of this court. When you score, you tend to do that.
Yeah, the Dons will potentially be, as just like in the Salem Hills game, getting everybody involved early. Underneath, Wright. Shot up and in. Cy Wright, he has all 5 of the Bulldogs' points. Provo retakes the lead.
Yeah, Cy Wright's one of the few seniors here that plays for Provo, and he's capable of hitting behind the arc, as we saw in the first game they played.
Taylor Anderson, his first bucket. Spanish Fork student section quiet, just as they were in against Salem Hills. Wait for that 10th point.
10th point, and then they're going to erupt.
Yeah.
The silent night. A little less attendance than I'm used to seeing here out of the student body.
Yeah.
It's a big game.
Is there a dance tonight, maybe? Sweethearts isn't yet, is it? Don't do that on a game night.
They usually don't have dances on game nights.
No, unless it's a victory dance. Hunter Schofield up top against Cy Wright. Schofield, turnaround jumper the opposite direction, misses. Cold start early for Schofield. And Parker Bowman can't get it to go. Tips it out to Benson Reese. Connor Anderson there. But all the Dons getting tons and tons of second chances. They're going to get another one here as the ball out of bounds to the Spanish Fork Dons.
Yeah, and that's uncharacteristic of a Provo coach team. They tend to box out a little better, but give credit to Spanish Fork hustling there and getting a couple more opportunities.
Taylor Anderson angle left. Looking low to Connor. Kicks it back out to Benson. 4 minutes remaining here in the first quarter. We want to thank MVP Sports for sponsoring tonight's MVP of the game. 72 North Main in Spanish Fork. 798-3587 online. MVPSportsUtah.com. A bucket and a foul. Schofield on the board.
That'll be Chase Piggott's first foul of the game, and if the Dons could get him in foul trouble, that'd be huge. He hit a couple of big shots the first time they met.
Yeah, they knocked down a couple of threes that disrupted Spanish Fork's plans.
Yeah, if I can remember your name from the previous month,
yep,
then you must have done something right. And I
that's
remember
right.
Hunter Bailey and Chase Piggott.
Exactly right. 9 points for the Dons. To Provo's 5. The next points Dons score. It'll get a little bit louder here in the Don, though.
Dons have switched to a zone defense here, and they get a turnover.
Long arms by Parker. Bowman gets a steal. Bowman dribbles up court. Taylor Anderson, 3. Yes, sir. And there we go. Taylor Anderson now with 5 points, and we got a timeout on the floor. The timeout brought to you by Doug Smith Auto. If you don't know already, Doug Smith has moved to a new site. They're no longer clear over there by I-15 on that frontage road, a difficult address. They've moved it 1341 North Main Street in Spanish Fork. 804-5971 is the number to Doug Smith Auto. And
we can't talk about Doug without saying, hey
Doug.
Doug.
So we're glad to have them on board as 30-second timeout. Here early, the Dons are starting to feel it, Chris.
Yeah, well, they're peaking at the right time. If you want to peak, if you're a coach, you want to do it right before the playoffs so you can make a run, and that's what they've done these last couple games. Every game they'd played in region had been pretty tight until the last two, and then they just decided to blow the doors off a couple of great teams.
Yeah, it's the confidence has to be booming as well, and you know, you start a streak like that, you get a couple of big wins.
Yeah. And I always felt like points they had underperformed for long stretches, and if they can clean that up, they could make a run here in the playoffs.
Connor Anderson commits his first foul of the ball game, and the team's first.
Connor Anderson having a great night tonight.
Working well down low, picking up a few rebounds. Provo puts it back into play. Foster Harvey is into the game for Provo.
Now Provo comes in with a 3-game winning streak of their own.
Yeah.
Here they've been playing well. They beat Salem Hills and Maple Mountain and Wasatch.
Shot up and good for Braxton Bailey, his first bucket. Yeah, Provo, you know.
Braxton might start slow, but man, he gets a lot of buckets in the second half when he gets heated up.
He's the big man underneath for Provo. Look at him and Schofield underneath fighting it out. Taylor Anderson, another 3, this time no good. Rebound, Connor. Kicks it back out, Bowman. Floats one, no. Rebound to the Bulldogs.
That was a great offensive rebound by Connor Anderson. They didn't get the bucket, but he's really setting the tone in this game.
Parker Bowman all over the floor of the Dons. Seem to be putting a little bit more emphasis in getting in the way of some of the pass. You should have saw, you missed that Salem Hills game, Chris, but the Dons were stepping it seemingly in front of every single Salem Hills pass and getting fast break points. And one possession after another.
And like you said earlier, I think part of that could be due to confidence. Once you get some confidence on the defensive end, it'll lead to the offensive end as well.
That's right. See if the Dons can keep that going. Schofield, the pass is incomplete, out of bounds.
Just off the fingertips of Schofield there. Even if he would have caught it, I don't know what he was going to do with it other than take another step out of bounds.
Needed the receiver's gloves on that one. 1:45 remaining here in the first quarter.
I think the Dons want to pick up the pace here, and they get another turnover.
There you go, Bowman, another steal. He's got a couple here early on.
And I'm still in shock. I don't even recognize the kid did.
I had to have a couple of takes myself. Reese for 3, no.
I think he was fouled on that release, and they didn't call it.
1:15 remaining. Colin Bosco into the ball game. He sees a lot of minutes for the Bulldogs, running some point guard actions. Braxton Bailey, Hunter Bailey, they got it back out to Bosco.
And Bosco's just a junior. He comes in averaging 3 points a game, and his dad's the former BYU quarterback who won a national championship. How many kids can say that?
Well, not many. Dons will bring in a couple of new faces onto the floor.
Who did they call that one on? They're not putting it up on the board.
They are on the other side, and I unfortunately don't have an angle on it.
We'll have to send Reg over there to see who they called that foul on.
Spanish Fork. Once again, on B. The Bulldogs get it inbound outside.
It's not up on the other side.
I guess we're kind of out of luck on that deal. You have to go down every now and again to the score table and check up. Bosco wide open for 3. Can't get it. Tanner Argyle can't get the rebound, and the ball out of bounds to the Bulldogs once again. 30 seconds on the clock. Both teams a little cold here towards the end of the quarter.
Yeah, I like this pace if you're at Spanish Fork here. It's moving a little quicker than the first time they met, and I think that's Spanish Fork's advantage.
Don's trying to force the issue on defense by getting in the way again of those passing lanes, keeping Provo in a circumstance where they have to try to play catch-up. That'll keep that pace up.
Yeah, and that's the 4th turnover I have for Provo this evening, and Spanish Fork only has 1. That's a great sign.
Only 2 fouls on each side here early. Schofield to Reese, back to Hunter. Hunter off the pick and roll, back to Benson. 3-ball rattles off. The Dons only knocked down 1 3-pointer, and they're getting a few looks, so hopefully they'll start to heat up. First quarter in the books. The Dons with a 12-7 lead over the Bulldogs. We'll be right back. Back with you here at Spanish Fork High School, where the Dons holding a 12-7 lead, Chris. The Spanish Fork defense doing a good job early, only allowing the Bulldogs to 7.
And then the other thing they've been doing is they've been taking care of the ball. They only have 1 turnover, and they've been getting a ton of offensive rebounds. They haven't been shooting real well. It seems like if they can get the shooting clicking here, maybe they'll be able to run Provo out of the gym like they have Salem Hills and Wasatch.
No, you never expect to do that in a game versus Provo. You know, you can never really predict a huge score. Well, I had the Dons going a little higher than what they had last time for this contest. Dons could drop a 3.
We might as well count that as a turnover.
That's right.
There.
Hunter Bailey, his first bucket, the leading scorer for Provo with his first 2 of the game.
He starts off slow at times, but we mentioned how the Spanish Fork was keeping him in check, but he lets other people get involved, and then he takes over in the second half.
Nearly a turnover by Spanish Fort. Schofield to Taylor Anderson. It's through the lane, lays it up and scores. Taylor with 7 points here early for Spanish.
Yeah, he's got half the points, and he's been very active, him and Connor Anderson, both Andersons.
Oh, jump ball possession there will go back to the Bulldogs. And
you know what I think?
Big substitutions here for Provo.
What would be cool is if they jumped the ball every time there was a jump ball, instead of just changing the possession. Make it a little more exciting.
Nathan Kutchin into the ball game as Bailey's going to go to the line for 2 shots. Hunter will, or excuse me, yeah, Hunter. I get that he and Braxton mixed up over and over again. I apologize for that.
Called that one on Bowman.
No, it's Tobiasen is what they
Tobiasen.
got.
Jax Tobiasen, number 35.
That'll be his first team foul, number 3 for the Dons. 2 shots for Hunter Bailey. First one, no.
Hunter's not the best free throw shooter. He reminds me a lot of Chris Collinsworth, though, a little bit.
Yeah.
He couldn't shoot free throws either, and he's doing just fine now.
He's okay. Knocked down 1 of 2.
And Provo's going to go full court here.
They want to put the pressure on the Dons as Parker Bowman takes care of the honors himself. Benson Reese out front. Getting a call from Coach Roberts. Taylor Anderson angle right. Looking underneath Connor. Back out. Dons without their leading scorer on the season, Hunter Schofield, on the bench. Bowman can't convert.
Yeah, Spanish Fork had no rhythm. They had no answer for the man-to-man defense and looked all out of sorts.
Connor Anderson nearly with a steal there. Really at least got a hand on it.
Yeah. I almost wonder if he'd have been a little more aggressive if he would have got the steal there.
Doesn't want to pick up that second foul, though, but the Dons are going to pick up another one here.
It's Tobiasen, I believe.
Yep, that's 2 on him.
Back to back.
14 fouls against the Dons. Hunter Schofield right back in to take Tobiasen's spot.
Good
the Dons with their starters on the floor.
Good news is Hunter Schofield didn't pick up any fouls there in the first quarter. He does have a tendency to get fouls early.
Dons with a rebound on a 3-point miss. Schofield underneath, going up against Bosco. Take it to him, he's fouled. Bosco standing at a good, solid Allen Huff height. 5'10", 5'11".
They list him at 5'11". I'm going to say that's generous. I walked down there and saw him warming up, and he's by far the shortest kid on Provo's team.
So Schofield for 2, knocks down the first. He's 3 for 3 tonight, has 4 points.
If he's 5'11", then I'm 6'2", and I know that's not the case.
So one more attempt here for Hunter Schofield. Free throw, good. 5 for him.
And that's one of the strengths of the Dons is they're very good at shooting those free throws.
I want to thank the Car Guys for sponsoring tonight's instant replay. 872 North Main in Spanish Fork. 794-0077. Online, visit them, thecarguysut.com.
.net.
.net. I missed I get into the game too much. I can't remember the .coms, .nets, .orgs. Foul against Provo.
That might be on Hunter Bailey here. He fouled out.
That was on Hunter Bailey. So I believe that's just his first. Schofield. Anderson to Reese. Reese looking underneath, goes cross court. 3-ball by Bowman. No, the Dons cannot drop the 3-ball here in the first half of this game.
And Bowman had a team high 20 points against Wasatch.
Oh.
He's been struggling early.
Ball everywhere. Bowman goes in hard, picks up the rebound.
Struggling offensively, defensively, Bowman's been playing amazing tonight.
There's Bowman. Misses. With a rebound. Provo is just too open. Bailey and another near turnover. Who knocked Taylor Anderson down
that
the ball?
That was Bowman.
Piggott knocks down the 3. He's dangerous. 3-point game.
He's a streaky shooter. I've seen, first time we saw Provo, he hit a couple early and then he just cooled off. But man, when he gets hot, he can hit them.
Looking underneath to Schofield, and a foul committed by Nathan Kutchin of the Bulldogs against Hunter.
That's just his first foul, and it's nobody in real foul trouble tonight. Only 5 team fouls.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Schofield, nice pass from Reese.
That was a beautiful play call there.
Inbounds play works, and the Dons now a 5-point lead, 7 points for Schofield.
I got Taylor Anderson with 2.
So Taylor picking that up, and they'll quickly get him out of the contest. So back in will be Tanner Argyle.
Tanner Argyle, just a sophomore.
Seen quite a few minutes for the Dons off the bench. As the Dons still aggressive, and they're going to call a blocking foul against Schofield.
I think they're going to get him there for the soccer flop more than anything else.
That's Schofield, I believe's first.
It is his first. 16 fouls here for the Dons. Provo shooting the rest of the way here in the first half.
So the Dons will need to be careful. 4:08 remaining. There's plenty of time to score points off fouls as Hunter Bailey will go to the line.
Yeah, and that looks like that one was on, who was that on?
Connor Anderson picks it up.
32, Connor Anderson. His second. We said nobody's in foul trouble. And then
yeah, the second we open our mouths. Here we go. Bailey knocks it down.
He's got a little hitch there in his free throw attempt, I think. Doesn't look real smooth or confident when he releases that. But who am I to criticize? He's averaged 20 points as a senior in high school, and I didn't make the team.
Yeah. Feel the same way, you know. We can criticize all we want. Free throw good. So 3 for 4 is Hunter Bailey on the night. It's a 3-point game once again at 18-15. The Dons have led pretty much the whole way.
They have. In that first quarter, it felt that they looked a lot more comfortable. Provo's uglying this thing up.
Just the way they like it. Schofield fouled. He's going to the line for 2. And that's a way to get some free shots at the bucket.
A nice aggressive move that time.
Created that contact.
Oh.
Missed the first badly. First free throw missed by the Dons tonight. Every free throw has been attempted by Hunter Schofield.
Well, you can't make them all, but he sure does good for his size.
That's right. Side right, angle right. Ball out of bounds to the Dons.
Provo's really cleaned up their turnovers here. That's only their first one here in the quarter. They had 4 early in the first period.
Spanish Fork with it. 3.5 remaining here in the first half. Underneath, Tobiasen trying to get space. The Dons going fairly big, at least height-wise. Reese for three. Benson Reese on the board finally.
A great shot. Hopefully Benson Reese gets a little confidence after that shot. He can get hot from behind the arc.
Hunter Bailey on the attack. He has 7.
And they all come here in the second quarter.
He's starting to heat up a little bit. Schofield, 3.
It's Hunter Schofield's world here in the Don Dome, and we're all just here watching.
That's right. Schofield with 11. Right side, Piggott. Provo working against the Dons' man defense, and they're going to call Tanner Argyle with a foul.
Now, I thought Spanish Fork, when they were playing that zone for whatever reason, it might be a lazy man's defense, but they definitely were creating more turnovers.
Going to the free throw line, side right. He has 5 points on the evening. First one, good. Hits that front end. He'll get one more. Dons will be shooting from here on as well. Having a little bit of a...
Yeah, apparently Craig Drury saw something he didn't like, mentioned to the official. They're going to go ahead and have a discussion.
They're wanting someone else to be... they want to change who the foul was on. Apparently. I don't know where the argument is. I thought it was pretty clear to me. Free throw good.
If Craig's not complaining, he's not happy.
6-point lead for the Dons after both free throws drop for Wright. This will be Craig Drury's last trip to Spanish Fork High. Oh, Schofield could not get the bucket on the rebound.
He's announced his retirement, huh?
He has. This will be his last year's. Bucket goes for Provo, and look out because Hunter Bailey he's heating up. 9 points already. He'll go to the line for one more.
Who'd they call that on? Is that Dallin Shepard? I didn't think he was out on the court, but yeah, he does pick up the foul.
Free throw goes. 10 points for Bailey. The Dons lead down.
Is that a lane
4,
violation?
Or did they call it off? They did. So a lane violation by the Bulldogs. 25-21 the score. Reese trying to shrug off Chase Piggott. Piggott's going to pick up a foul.
That's his second one, and they're claiming he threw an elbow, and Benson Reese does have a tendency to let the elbows go.
Might have got away with one there. Not only get away with one, but rob one. He's going to get a free throw here.
Reese is a pretty good free throw shooter. If I had to guess, I'd say he's shooting about 80%.
Yeah. So 1 and 1 for Benson. He's going to hopefully get 2, but he won't.
And that's what won the first Provo game, was Benson Reese's free throw shooting.
That's right. He had 14 points off of free throws alone on a 19-point evening.
I think he went 14 for 16 or something like that. Now, Provo's only down 4 here, so they'll run the clock out here in typical Bulldog offense fashion.
Well, they won't. Underneath. Defender goes down, but somehow Hunter Bailey ends up with it. He can't convert. And again, Provo getting chance after chance, and they convert. Chase Piggott, 3.
And they're
1 point game.
Yeah.
Reese answers.
We got a fight down there between Schofield and Bailey. They didn't call anything. They were both down there scrap.
You got to be kidding me. Come on down. Let's knock one down here.
See if Reese answers back.
Benson needs one here. Chase Piggott's hit three three-pointers tonight and a foul committed by Connor O'Neill.
It's his second.
It's kind of getting fun. I like this action, Chris.
Yeah, it's a little more fast-paced than I was expecting, but it's a lot more fun as well, and the fans are definitely getting into it here.
Provo section's been upset a couple of times. Benson will go to the line 1-1. Let's see if he can hit that front end this time.
I'm just glad we got the booth as a protector. We didn't have that at Provo. We were right in between the fan bases.
Yeah, right here we can hide if needs be. Again, though, I'm the one sitting closest to the Provo fans, Chris. Shot up and in.
That's by design.
Reese with 8 points, all coming here in the second.
I always figure we got Andy to protect us, so we'll be fine.
Outside, another three.
Oh, my.
Foster Harvey. You got to be kidding.
They got to guard that three-point line.
Provo's just knocking everything down. Bowman puts it up. No, rebound to the Bulldogs. Provo wants the lead.
They're going to
33 on the clock, and they're going to wear it out here.
Yeah, Drury signaled one shot. I heard him mouth the words as well. Well, I didn't hear him, but I saw it.
Syrite to Hunter Bailey. We got a war on our hands here at the Don Dome early in this contest. 11 on the clock.
You're going to have to fasten your seatbelt, put on your helmet. It's going to be an exciting ball game here.
Bailey shovels it in. Schofield lets one fly, won't convert. Provo going to the locker room with a lead. Hunter Bailey leading the Bulldogs from an 8-point deficit at one point during this quarter. Provo with a 32-30 lead here at the Don Dome. We'll be right back here on Spanish Sports 17. 30 seconds away from beginning this second half. Tonight's Channel 17 SFCN coverage of this Spanish Fort Dons Provo Bulldogs game, sponsored by Doug Smith Auto, MVP Sports, and the Car Guys. And as always, we want to thank those who support SFCN, and we're glad to have the newcomers in Doug Smith Auto aboard. So here we go. The Dons got to make up 2 points. I think they can do it.
Yeah, they can make up 2 points. I think this game's going to be another one of those ones where you might need to take something for the anxiety or the blood pressure, depending on what your tendency is, because it's going to probably go down to the wire.
Any Craig Drury coach team, that's a safe bet typically.
Yeah, he's seen a lot of basketball over the years. Coached a lot of basketball,
Yes.
I should say.
I think 30-some-odd years with Provo. Connor Anderson can't convert. He was all alone. Syrite gets it. Here he comes, running the point, goes underneath. O'Neill swatted. Parker Bowman, ball on the floor. They get it out. Parker has it, and they whistle. 20-second timeout, 30-second timeout by Coach Jesse Roberts, and what an exchange there.
Yeah, that was crazy. Nice hustle by Bowman coming from the weak side and swatting O'Neill there.
Woo! That was a nice play by Bowman. He's been involved defensively heavily for the Dons in this contest. Hope to keep that energy.
Yeah, and if he can get hot from the offensive end, watch out. He had 20 against Wasatch. But he's, struggled mightily with his shot attempts in the first half as he didn't have any points, but he's definitely bringing a lot of energy.
Dons with only 4 scorers in this contest. Schofield, Anderson, Reese, and Taylor Anderson. And I don't know what's going on. Nothing.
I think somebody accidentally hit the buzzer.
Yeah, the buzzer went off. 7:34 remaining here in the third quarter, only 30 seconds in. Reese in the paint, kicks it back out. Reese ends up with it, 3 lines. Schofield underneath, puts it up, he's fouled. He's going to the line for 2. Hunter's a stud at getting those free throw shots and creating attempts.
He is. I didn't see the foul there, but he'll take a couple of free throw shots. I didn't see who they called that on. I assume it's number 13, Cy Wright, picking up his first foul.
Now inside. Schofield knocks down the first. Hunter, the leading scorer of the game, has 12 now for the Dons. He had 11 in the first half. Benson Reese had 8.
Both Hunter Bailey and Hunter Schofield had 11.
That's right.
For Spanish Fork and Provo, respectively, there.
MVP Sports will sponsor tonight's MVP of the game. 72 North Main. Custom uniforms for this coming baseball season. Get your orders in soon. Is a nice scoop by Hunter Bailey. Yeah, now both he and Hunter Schofield are 13. MVP Sports, 872 North Main, 798-3587. Outside. Excuse me.
I was going to say, in Provo's wins, the scores have been low, but they have no problem playing at the Spanish Fork pace here tonight.
Don still cool from behind the arc. Underneath, the ball out of bounds to the Bulldogs. Maintain that 2-point lead.
Now, let's see if Spanish Fork can make a run here, or if Provo is. I have a feeling that the way these two teams play is they take turns making runs at each other.
Bailey back to Braxton Bailey. Let's see a lot from him in the first half. Plays that big man role for the Bulldogs. Side right side to Piggott, and coming in, taking it away, Benson Reese. Breaks midcourt. Schofield, no! Just a little too hard.
A little too much on that, but great idea there.
Score remains the same. Bailey, no.
Bailey's cooled off. He would have made that in the second quarter.
Taylor Anderson fouled on his way to the bucket. Can't convert it. They're going to give him 1 or 2, or are they going to call it down, or is he getting 2? That call going against Cy Wright, and they're calling it down.
I got 2 on Cy Wright now, both of them here in the third quarter. Spanish Fork been running. They just need to convert some of those easier looks.
Foster Harvey in, Connor O'Neill out. Cutting, Bowman can't convert. Provo with it. The Bulldogs cross the timeline. Cy Wright. Chase Piggott.
Cy Wright was looking to pass the ball before anybody was even guarding.
He's that unselfish. Cy Wright, angle right, goes to Braxton Bailey. Long shot, misses, rebound to the Dons.
Yeah, Bailey shot that one out of rhythm, and we could tell by the brick he put up.
Schofield drains a 3. Hunter Schofield on fire for the Dons, 16 in the game.
Yeah, if he's not beating you inside, Schofield's going to beat you outside.
Dons at the 1-point lead. Benson Reese has plenty of fouls to give, does he not, Chris?
He does. Hunter Bailey answers back there, though, and gives Provo a 1-point lead.
Hunter and Hunter show here in the second half.
Benson Reese has 0 fouls.
That being the case, look for him to be aggressive. 3 fouls already for Provo. The Dons have not committed a foul yet. Hunter Bailey picking that up.
That's 2 on Bailey. Haven't heard much from Hunter's brother.
No, Braxton's been
been
silent.
quiet.
Schofield can't convert. Rebound to the Bulldogs, and here they come. Left side, Hunter Bailey. He's got Parker Bowman on him. Bowman, good long defender. Except for when you leave Bailey alone. He gets into.
They turn it over.
Yep, they did. Over and back.
A little miscommunication there between Mr. Bailey and Mr. Harvey.
So the Dons trailing by 1. 36-35. We're almost halfway through the third quarter. Benson Reese, Schofield. Back to Benson. These two look to provide the offense here in the third. Ball blocked. Out of bounds. Who's it go to? We'll give it to Provo, and the Spanish Fork fans not thrilled with the call.
Yeah, The train conductors there in the student section seem to disagree with the call. I guess tonight's theme would be trains.
Are they? Yeah, interesting.
It is very interesting. Usually
they get clever more and more every time we got new outfits.
Usually I can figure out the theme for the student body, but tonight I've really struggled.
Can't wait to see what goes on next. Shot up, good. Foster Harvey, his second bucket of the game. Next up, Spanish Fork will play at Timpview Tuesday night. Be there, 7 o'clock.
I'll be at Timpview. That's going to be a huge game.
Actually, it's a Friday.
They get the bye.
Dons still stuck at 35. Provo looking to add to their lead. The Dons get it on the rebound, Hunter Schofield. There's Taylor Anderson again to the hoop. The ball stripped. And a foul by Spanish Fork.
It's their first foul here in the half. We've been 4 minutes and 55 seconds.
They got it wrong here, and I'm going to correct. Oh, that's Provo's. Or Spanish Forks.
Sorry, got the wrong
I'm always
schedule.
looking at the wrong thing.
All right, so they do have it right. It's at Timpview next Friday.
Okay, that's a week from tonight. We encourage you to be there. Underneath, Braxton Bailey can't convert. Benson Reese on the hustle. Taking it to the hoop himself. Nothing called. The ball loose.
That's
unbelievable.
Insane.
There's got to be a whistle
or
somewhere.
A travel. Braxton or Hunter Bailey just traveled.
Blocking foul against Schofield. And I don't know. The Dons not getting much love here in the third quarter.
That was back-to-back horrible calls there, both ways. Look at Bailey pick it up. He travels.
Yep, that was Braxton Bailey.
But they missed a call there before. It was a block foul, but there was a couple things missed earlier.
Outside Piggott. Austin Tyre into the ball game. Outside with it. Provo Bulldogs get it to Bosco. He's alone. Finds a lane to Braxton Bailey. He'll go to the line for two.
The intensity's starting to pick up. I can feel it from up here.
So 2 shots coming for Braxton Bailey. He hasn't made a free throw attempt yet.
He really struggled from the line. He's been there quite a few times.
Knocks down first.
Sorry, that's his first attempt of the game.
That's right.
He looks so much like his brother.
Yeah, it's easy to mix them up. 1 of 2 for Braxton.
He's just a sophomore, and he's the taller of the two at 6'6".
Yep, he's got a long way to go with that Provo program. Interesting to see who they get to coach him next.
If you're 6'6" as a sophomore, that means you can be 6'8" as the Dons nearly turn it over. Oh, we got a fight between Schofield, well, not a fight, but a kick by Schofield there.
He's lucky to be in the game.
Braxton Bailey. Let's see if we can check it out here on the Car Guys instant replay.
We get all tied up there, which is easy to do, and then
yeah, we missed the good part.
We edited it. No violence. No violence code.
This program's rated TVG.
Ball off the mark. The Dons unable to convert much of anything here in the third quarter. Only 5 points. Outside. Braxton Bailey alone. You can't leave anybody alone.
Wow. Who can't hit a 3 for Provo?
7-point lead for the Bulldogs. Dons offense silent. Timeout on the floor.
Good use of a timeout there. See if they can't slow down this Provo Bulldog machine.
Bulldogs with just 10 points in the quarter, but the Dons with just 5. And, you can't really give each offense too much credit.
Yeah.
This timeout sponsored by Doug Smith Auto.
Hey, Doug.
Hey, Doug. You got to sing it.
Hey, Doug.
There we go. I like that. Okay. Doug Smith, 1341 North Main in Spanish Fort. Phone number 801-804-5971.
Just go down Main Street. Just keep going till
Go
you're
under
nearly
the
to
overpass.
Springville.
That's right. Just go under that overpass and you'll run right into Doug Smith Auto, their new location.
Run in there, say, hey, Doug,
right.
or seen it.
I wonder if they get sick of that.
Yeah, it's probably a good thing I'm not a used car salesman or a car salesman because they come up with some pretty catchy tunes, but it can be annoying. It works.
You never forget it. That's why they do it.
But go check them out as they're a new sponsor here on Spanish Fork Channel 17.
Car Guys also sponsor basketball, Spanish Fork Dons basketball, 872 North Main in Spanish Fork, 794-0077. Calvin Youd, Randy Brailsford, all their sales consultants ready to make you a great deal on a nearly new automobile, most of which are still under factory warranty, and a foul by the Bulldogs.
Yeah, we're going to have to talk to the Car Guys, see if they can come up with a theme song we can sing for them as well.
MVP needs one. Let's
MVP.
all the musicians out there, please submit them. Outside, Dons with it. Spanish Fork, along with a couple of bench players on the guard line. Looking for Schofield, they find him. Hunter fouled.
Oh man, I'm wondering when Braxton Bailey and Hunter Schofield are going to go to punches tonight, because it's just a matter of time as they tangle up once again.
No, it's all the officials. I mean, they're not even pulling anybody aside,
right?
To calm them down.
It's a very intense battle here, potentially for first place. If Maple Mountain loses to Timpview, we could have a three-way tie atop Region 8.
If the with the Dons and if Maple, I mean, this whole region's just a mess. You have Provo, which would be tied with Spanish Fork with a win here, and they know it. Hunter Schofield has 18.
18, and they're going to need some other guys to help him out here. He's shouldering the whole load here lately, and nobody else for Spanish Fork seems like they want to score. They're allergic to baskets.
Yeah, he has all the Dons points here in the third quarter, all 7. Dons are getting looks. They just haven't been converting shots.
Yeah. Somebody like Reese is going to have to step up. He's stepped up in the clutch of a few of these big ball games.
Hunter Bailey, they're going to wear the clock. 22, down to 20. Gets it to Cy-Wright.
Provo's good at holding the ball.
And they're good at creating shots when they do so. Just like that. Hunter Bailey just can't convert. The Dons get it. 1 second on the clock. And Tanner Argyle isn't going to get it there.
I thought we were going to see how flexible the glass was back there.
That's right. We will go ahead and take a break. The fourth quarter coming up. The Dons 37, the Bulldogs 42 here on Spanish Fork 17. 8 minutes remain. The Dons have a 5-point deficit to overcome, which they can do. But are you going to be shocked if Drew Reed right at this moment decides he's going to start wearing the clock?
I would be shocked if he doesn't do that. They're going to have to put a straight jacket there on Hunter Bailey, too, if they want to get in this game.
3 ball by Foster Harvey.
And I'm shocked because they took an attempt within the first 7 seconds of the quarter. But it was a good one.
Yeah, it's working out for the Bulldogs. Schofield with an open lane. Goes up, he'll go to the line.
I'll pick up Hunter Bailey there with his third. He fouled out the first time they met.
He'd be a good guy to be rid of if you're the Dons.
Yeah, I think that's part of the reason that Provo didn't get a good shot attempt at the end of that game.
2 shots for Schofield, knocks down the first. Hunter, solid free throw night.
Yeah, if you're Spanish Fork here, in my opinion, you just need to take good shots, keep playing your game, and play great defense, and they're still in this thing.
10 of 11 from the free throw line is Hunter Schofield. I have a feeling if the Dons really want to get back into this, they're going to have to somehow find a way to get Benson Reese some buckets.
Everything's dropping, though, for Provo now.
Colin Bosco.
That ball he had no business making that shot. It goes in. Great defense by Spanish Fort. Better offense by Bosco.
Taylor Anderson has 10 for the Dons.
He's doing it from behind the arc. Is that his third?
That is his second three of the game.
We got to travel.
Oh, no. Foul. On the ground by the Dons. That'll be team foul number 4. But the Dons, however, Chris, they'll be seeing 1-1 on the next foul by Provo.
Yeah, they will.
That's a big plus for Spanish.
That is a big plus. Provo is not the best free throw shooting team I've seen.
I think in region play, I mean, you'd have to give that nod to Spanish Fort. They've been tough.
Oh, yeah, they've been shooting the ball well from behind the arc. 3 points, if you can make them, nobody's guarding you. But
Provo is going to wear it. 6:36.
I wonder if at some point you get in a couple of your backups.
Turnover almost. That's off the head of Hunter Bailey. The Dons get it.
That's when Spanish Fork was dominating, is when Provo was turning the ball over early, so hopefully they can create a couple here. Sometimes that prevent offense prevents you from winning. I don't know how many times I've said that this season, but it's true.
If it has not, it has nearly nipped Spanish Fork a few times, and I guarantee you it has. Oh, the foul against Provo. It's going to be a 1-1. That foul against Cy Wright.
That's 3 on Wright.
That'll bring Jax Tobiasen off the bench. Hunter Schofield in.
Tobiasen's played limited minutes, but when he has been in there, he's been picking up fouls in a hurry.
2 shots for, or 1-1 for Taylor Anderson. Can't convert. You've got to hit those front ends, and Provo with it.
That's huge.
Dons have missed 3 free throws as a team tonight. 2 of them have been on front ends of 1-1s. Tempe currently with a 47-45 lead over Maple Mountain.
Similar scores here. We got a 47-42 game.
Yeah, we do.
And this is, we could have ourselves a 3-way tie, and Tempe just half a game back after tonight if Provo and Tempe hold on.
Ball stolen away. Taylor Anderson, Piggott should foul. He doesn't. Taylor Anderson of 12, the Dons cut the lead to 3, and the ball out of bounds to Provo as Benson Reese causing issues.
Wow.
And now we've got a fight between Cy Wright and Benson Reese. Wow.
There's been 3 or 4 incidents tonight that I thought we were going to have something erupt. Came to a basketball game, we might end up seeing a fight.
Came to a fight and might see a basketball game. How about that?
There you go. I think they should let them do a little rock, paper, scissors, just get some of that frustration out down there. See here.
Get them together, sing a lullaby, calm them down a little bit.
They could sing Hey Doug.
Wide open. Had an open layup. Piggott decided instead to kick it back out. And now Provo and Hunter Bailey out there. 3 ball. Good, Piggott. He has 12 points all by the 3 ball.
He's been hot tonight.
Benson Reese, angle right. Taylor Anderson out front. Parker Bowman. Looking to Hunter Schofield. The Dons with it. Hunter, shot up, got it.
Timeout here at Spanish Fork.
The Dons are going to take a timeout, brought to you by Doug Smith Auto. 22 points now for Hunter Schofield, Chris. Just a 30-second. Actually, it's a full timeout.
Timeout. Let's take it.
We'll take it. 4:55 remaining. 4-point lead for the Bulldogs. Back at Spanish Fork High School. If you have not been utilizing it, you should. If you're away from the television, you got a computer around you, you can log on to youtube.com/SpanishFork17 to check out these games live. Ooh,
Oh, it's near 10
stolen.
seconds.
Oh.
Ah.
Piggott. You don't want to leave him alone. Taylor Anderson picks him up.
Don's going to trap here.
Yeah, they're going to harass Provo to death.
And they've got to, because they can't let Provo hold the ball here. Provo might hold the ball for 4 minutes if they let them.
What a mess we could have in this region if Provo were to pull this one off.
They might go into the end of this thing with like a 4 or 5-way tie when it's all said and done.
No lie.
I want to see the tiebreaker game when all 5 teams tie here. Wasatch, Spanish, Maple Mountain, Provo, and Timpney. What do they do in that case?
3 ball good, Piggott. Nobody is, I don't know. I don't know how you let him even get the ball.
They need to mug him.
1-1 it'll be for Benson Reese as he'll go to the line. 7-point lead for Provo.
I believe that is Piggott picking up his 3rd there. Man, he's on fire.
Tell you what.
I might want to ask him if he wants to go to Wendover after this game. That's how lucky he is and hot.
Feeling it, and the Dons miss another front end. Do that, you don't win. There's another foul by Provo. Side right, Taylor Anderson's ready to.
Man, I don't know what's gotten into the Dons tonight, but.
I don't know if they're feeling like Provo is taking some cheap shots, which they may be doing.
That's 4 on side right, I believe.
Yeah. So to the free throw line will be Taylor Anderson. He'll get 1-1 here. He missed the front end on his last trip. He's got to hit this one. Oh, yeah, a little bit of an arm extension there by Wright.
I don't think it warranted jumping up and down and nearly costing your team this game with the technical, though. Got to
check your emotions at the door, boys.
We've seen Taylor Anderson, Benson Reese, and that's just the level of importance of this game. It's very intense down there.
1-1 for Taylor Anderson. Got it. 2 shots to get from here on out for the Dons.
And they need to make them when they get fouled.
Spanish Fork has only committed 4 team fouls, so they still have a couple to give. Free throw. Got it.
You might want to give those sooner rather than later in case it comes down to that. You don't want to be committing 3 fouls to force them to the line. So I would, if I were Coach Roberts, nobody's in foul trouble, tell them to play aggressive defense.
Taylor Anderson been a big part of the Dons offense here in the 4th quarter. He's got 7, 14 on the game. Steal and a charge.
And
that'll be against Hunter Bailey, and that's 4.
That's 4. Assuming that I've been counting these correct, I'm trying to get the hand signals from the refs, but I do think it is 4.
It'll be him.
He fouled out the first time, and that cost Provo dearly. First time these 2 teams met.
Yeah. Schofield in traffic. Hunter, couple dribbles, loses it. A foul against Piggott. And the Provo fans are irate.
And that's 4 on Piggott.
Yeah, so that's another face if as a Dons fan, you wouldn't miss.
We have enough security here at this ball game, Alan.
I don't know. Yeah, the 2 officers that I can see, and I'll mention them by name, loud and proud, Trent Shepard, Brandon Anderson, they're over there with their arms folded.
No, I'm sure it won't be that kind of atmosphere, but it is quite the ball game as we got a full timeout here by Provo.
2 shots coming up for the Dons. We'll take a break. 5-point lead for the Bulldogs here on Spanish Fork 17. The wrath might be on if you're an official tonight. Greg Drury spent the entirety of that timeout.
Let him have it. I saw
giving him an earful.
Some of the Provo fans, and a few male, few female, no discrimination here, are letting the refs have it during that timeout. I'm glad I'm up here in the booth and not reffing this game.
Nice and cozy up here. It's all right. Hunter Schofield will get 2 shots here. These are big. The Dons have suddenly.
They've gone cold.
They've either gone cold or the nerves are starting to hit them a little bit. But one of two would work, but the Dons didn't get that. The ball on the floor, out of bounds off Provo. Golly. I mean, the Schofield has been solid from the line.
8.4 seconds left.
So in the other important Region 8 matchup, it's 52-52, Timpview, Maple Mountain, and there's only 8 seconds left. They're heading for another overtime game, it looks like.
Maple Mountain's getting their practice in post-regulation.
Yeah, they think they should play 36 minutes here at the high school level. Every time they play, it's overtime, isn't it?
It seems like it. They've had quite their fair share. Benson Reese into the paint, misses. The Dons can't miss those. They get more opportunities. A 3-ball, no. And a whistle against the Dons.
That's on Connor Anderson. That should be his 4th.
That's just 5 team fouls against the Dons.
Yeah, Dons have gone cold. Provo's not missing. That's not a good formula if you're a Don fan. If you're a Bulldog, you got the Dons right where you want them.
Provo gets the ball into play. 2:35 remaining. Hunter Bailey, better hurry. He gets it across, no problem. Parker Bowman on him. They tried to probably draw Bowman in and one-on-one him, but he doesn't.
Spanish Force is going to have to come up with a turnover here.
Dons have been good at it, forcing turnovers.
Now you got Provo all out of
sorts.
sorts.
That's a double dribble, and they don't call it. Whoa.
Knocked Pickett to the ground. Yeah, that was a clear violation of the double dribble rule.
I haven't seen that. Wow. And then they call the Dons on a foul. All it takes is a timeout for the officials to run right, jump right back comfortably into the pocket of Craig Drury.
Hey, if he came and talked to me like that, he's scary. He's
a big man. He's a big man, and you don't want to upset him for sure because he might find you after the game. Pickett, double teamed. He might have to use a timeout, and Craig Drury does. I believe it'll be 30. Yep, 32nd.
After Spanish Fork, you just got to keep that defensive intensity up and hope you can get a turnover here. And then you got to go down there and you got to finally knock one of those shots down.
Yeah, the Dons have to find a way to get the ball away from the Bulldogs, but we're in a tight one again with Provo. I mean, the Dons blow out Salem Hills, have a solid victory. Wouldn't call it a blowout till the end, a 16-point win against Wasatch. But again, Provo can bring you right back down to earth, and I don't care who you are.
Yeah. You know, I'd almost pay money just to see Provo and Spanish Fork play like a 7-game series. These two teams don't like each other. Games would probably all be close and intense. It's a fun matchup we got here tonight.
Passions are running rampant tonight. Double team, triple team. Provo with a wide open shooter and a whistle and a foul by Schofield underneath, and it'll be a 1-on-1 situation for the Bulldogs as Cy Wright will go to the line.
Now, if you're Spanish Fork, you got to hope he misses this 1-on-1, get the rebound, but be aggressive there. Chase Piggott, Cy Wright, and Hunter Bailey all have 4 fouls for Provo, and they've been the top 4 scorers, I believe.
Cy with 8 points. Lots of fouls out there against Provo. Provo, the Dons need to get aggressive. Both knocked down by Wright. 6-point lead for Provo, a minute 45 remaining.
Dons are going to go small here with the 3-guard lineup.
2 big men, Schofield and Bowman.
That'll help them on the defensive end create some turnovers as well.
That's right. Schofield alone. Foul, bucket!
Great job of Schofield posting up, getting the 2 points, and picking up a foul there on Braxton Bailey.
24 points for Hunter Schofield on the night. He'll get 1 free throw.
He's looking like the early favorite for the MVP Sports, but hey, you hit the game-winning shot or something like that, we'll probably be inclined to give it to you.
Free throw good. 25 for Schofield. Minute 37. He has almost half of the Dons scoring, just shy of a point.
Provo's going to have to hurry it up.
Bailey crosses, a foul called.
Hey,
you know, it
it's
might
not a bad
not
foul.
be a bad foul. I mean, he's been pretty solid the last few trips to the line, but he's not the most solid free throw shooter, even though he scores as many points as he does.
Yeah, he's not, and that's just Reese's first foul.
Yeah. So
1 and 1 here. He'll probably make it because we cursed him, but cursed the Dons.
Yeah, he did it. Take blame on that one. One more for him. Reese barely holds off. 17 points.
Doing the old, I think if I spin my arms fast enough that I'm going to stay in place motion. Been there, done that.
Flapping the wings. 1:27 remaining. Benson. Into the paint. Ball knocked away. Good defense by the Bulldogs. The Dons still come up with it. A foul against Provo.
It's on Piggott, and he's going to be out of here, I believe. Or is it Cy Wright?
One of them. That's Cy Wright.
And
Benson's going to the line for 2.
Bosco checks in as Wright. Night is done. And the student body escorts him to the bench, and he complied by going slowly. I'd just run if I was in that situation.
If I was him, I'd just dance. Free throw, good for Benson.
And that's been the difference in this game is Spanish Fork hasn't been hitting their free throws like they had in some of the previous region matches.
Free throw up, no.
Oh.
Benson's struggled a little bit from the line tonight. 5-point lead. Dons trapping, and they need to keep it up. Bailey breaks it.
You got to pick
Braxton
somebody
Bailey.
and foul.
There's a good one to foul. Braxton Bailey.
Benson
Don't.
oh,
Ball
great
tipped
turnover.
away, almost turned over, and Bosco fouled. 57 on the clock. We're going to see a foul fest from here on out.
We don't have the scouting report on Bosco's free throw shooting, but I imagine he's pretty good.
Guards don't make the team unless they make free throws.
Especially guards that are 5'9" that are listed at 5'11".
That's right. So the Dons in a week will be playing at Tentview. We encourage you to be there. If not, tune into Spanish Fork 17. First of 2, or first of 1 and 1 is good. 2 shots from here on out. Bosco perfect. Timeout. Or no, substitution.
Substitution. Argyle comes into the ball
They
game.
bring in the guards.
They're putting in Connor Anderson for defense and Argyle for offense.
Schofield, long 3. No, high off the iron. Fought for. Bowman. Anderson. Yes! Taylor Anderson for 3, and it's a 4-point game with 45 on the clock.
And the crowd erupts. What a great shot by Taylor Anderson. They're going to need some more of that if they want to win this scene, trailing by 4 here. You just got to foul early, I think, at this point. If you don't get the turnover or the 10-second, just foul and see if you can't drag this thing out.
Taylor Anderson and Hunter Schofield, now get this, Chris, have scored all but 1 point for the Dons in the second half.
And the other one must have been Benson Reese.
Benson Reese is 1 free throw.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
And see, that's the Dons play their best when the scoring's spread out, when Parker Bowman's involved, and Tanner Argyle.
If you're getting, Tanner Argyle, Jason Money hasn't even seen any time, but Bowman not scoring. Tobias, and usually he's good for a couple of buckets, and nobody's been really a huge game changer for the Dons off the bench.
And Benson Reese is usually easy 10 every game, and he's really struggled tonight.
Yeah, he's got 9, but those all came except for aside from 1 point, came in the second quarter.
Yeah, he's averaging 14 a game.
59-55, Provo with the lead. Bosco, the Dons are going to trap him. I don't know why they fouled him right there. Makes no sense.
I don't know if he's the guy you want to foul.
No.
I think you want to get the ball into Hunter Bailey or Braxton Bailey, one of the other guys out there. But Bosco has been nailed the first two he shot.
Yeah, those first two he shot, I don't think either touched iron.
Looks very comfortable. I'd probably be shaking down there if I was in his position, but.
Well, he's got some blood in his veins that might suggest that his nerves won't get too shaky. I think his dad has proved that.
Yeah, very true. 5
points for him, make it 6.
I know.
Still yet to hit iron.
Right. Wow, great job by Bosco that time.
Reese to Schofield. Back to Benson, 3-ball on the way, no rebound to the Dons. Argyle. Schofield 3. Yes! Hunter Schofield, the Dons got a foul quick or get a timeout, and they do.
Yeah, go for the steal. If you don't get the steal, go ahead and foul and see if you can extend this thing out. 2 for 3, they just need to do that 3 more times.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's enough time.
Hunter Schofield with 28 points for the Dons. We want to thank the Car Guys for sponsoring tonight's History Play. 872 North Main in Spanish Fork, 794-0077. You can visit them online at thecarguysut.com. Also, MVP Sports for sponsoring tonight's MVP of the game. 72 North Main here in town, 798-3587, or go online to mvpsportsutah.com. You can basically order anything you need off of that website, and MVP can get it. I mean, the range, as far as anything you might need equipment-wise on that website, is limitless.
Oh, that ball came close to hitting the line.
They've got the guy they want right there. They've got to hurry to bust the press.
Oh,
Oh,
foul him.
got to foul him now. Fouling now, and
they're not calling it.
Did.
They had to knock him to the ground.
Well, they basically had to tackle Hunter Bailey to even get the official.
I saw some hand checking there. Usually if you start patting the guy a little bit, they'll call it.
Yeah, they didn't do that.
Schofield picks up his 4th, and that is bad news.
Well, with 14.4 left, you got the guy you want at the line. You need a three-pointer. It's bad news if you go to overtime, but again, Provo is perfect from the free throw line here in the 4th quarter.
So it looks like Maple Mountain pulls out a victory up at Timpview, and they will retain the lead in region.
There you go.
They go to 7-2. Looks like Spanish is going to drop to 6-3.
19
be tied with
for Bailey.
Provo.
Yep. But who knows what can happen week to week. Air ball. Provo has it. The Dons won't even attempt to foul. Finally they do. Schofield, he's still out there wanting to play. I couldn't believe the Dons. Well, I mean, I know you're late in the game, but I was kind of shocked the Spanish Fork didn't foul right after that miss.
Right. That's 5 on Schofield, I believe.
Yep.
And Jax Tobiason does check in. I'm glad I was able to keep track of the fouls.
Well done on that tonight, Chris, because our scoreboard didn't help us any.
They gave the ball to him.
Yeah, the Dons needed somebody down on the post on there, on that free throw. But
Well, you got to give him time to get the new guy in.
Yeah.
And the one official was maybe
He
has some
wants
dinner
to go
plans.
home. Yeah, he's got to.
He doesn't want to hang out with us anymore in Spanish
He
Fork.
might be missing 60 minutes or whatever else might be on tonight.
2020.
Yeah, well, whatever it may be. Well, that worked.
Just stay here on Spanish Fork Channel 17 and watch the wonderful programming after this game.
That's right.
Maybe we'll have the goose or something.
Yeah, need the goose. Goose in the wild. 16 points for Chase Piggott. All threes except for that free throw, and that'll do it. Bowman fires one up for fun, and that's going to do it for the Dons. What was your final score?
I had it 64-58, but maybe
They shut the scoreboard off before you can even think.
We've got it 64-58 here.
Okay, there we go. All
right,
right,
that.
We'll take a break and be right back with some post game. 64-58 the final here. Too bad the Dons weren't the 64 tonight, Chris, as the Provo Bulldogs come into Spanish Fork. The Dons were riding high on a pretty solid win streak, couple of solid wins. Provo has now extended theirs to 4 games, and they're now tied with the Dons for second place in region.
Maple Mountain beat Timpview by 2 tonight. They're in first at 7-2. Provo, Spanish Fork, 6-3. They split the season series. I think the big difference in tonight's ball game was Provo hit those big shots from behind the arc, and Spanish Fork struggled from the free throw line.
Big time, and on top of that, Chris, the depth of the Dons seemed to cut off completely in the second half. There were 2 guys that were really an impact offensively for Spanish Fork in the second half. Hunter Schofield along with Taylor Anderson. Anderson finishes a 17, Schofield with 28, and the Dons only got 13 points by the rest of their team, as you see 9 for Benson Reese and Connor Anderson with just 4.
Yeah, and Benson Reese got 8 of those in the first half, just made a free throw in the second half.
Yeah.
They really struggled from the free throw line when it came down to clutch time, and Provo, credit Bosco coming through and hitting some big time free throws, and also Hunter Bailey hit a couple of big free throws, and Provo hangs on here, and parties like rock stars.
Provo perfect in that, had 1 missed free throw in the fourth quarter, and that was right at the end when it didn't even matter. Chase Piggott missed the front end of a 1-and-1. But out of 12 free throws, 11 isn't too bad for a fourth quarter if you're Provo.
And that's exactly what Spanish Fork did the first time they play it. Provo returns the favor and gets the victory themselves. And like I said, I love watching these 2 teams playing a 7-game series. I get the impression they don't like each other.
Yeah, I'm kind of getting that idea too. Hopefully a play-in game, some sort of games happen before this the playoffs start, 4A playoffs. So maybe we get, I don't know, maybe even in the tournament.
They could meet possibly in the 3rd round, depending on how the playoffs set up. But we'll have to wait for the brackets. And if you're Spanish Fork, you got Timpview. It doesn't get any easier. We get to go over and watch that game there at Timpview.
Yeah, it looks like you've got your solid 4 teams in region play that are going to be state tournament,
What about Wasatch? Where do they fall in?
You have Wasatch, Timpview, Provo,
Spanish Fork,
Maple Mountain. You're right. There's going to be a good team that's going to miss out.
Yeah, there is.
A really good team. Wow, we can't even count Spanish Fork as being solidly in it at this point.
They're not. It's a 5-horse race, and hopefully Spanish Fork's one of the 4 teams that makes it. But Maple Mountain's starting to put a stranglehold on this region with a huge 2-point win against Timpview in overtime. I think it was in overtime.
Yeah, potentially. I don't know. There was 8 seconds on the clock when it was
previous. Tied.
Yeah, when it was tied. So we don't know about that. But still, you see all these games in region play, with the exception of big wins, by Spanish Fork. Big wins against Salem Hills and a big win against Wasatch. You are not going to find a game in region play where somebody gets beat by 10 points or more.
Oh, you're absolutely correct. All the games have been really close up to this point. And yeah, I'm looking at the scores. You got Spanish Fork 61, Salem Hills 52, Spanish Fork 60, Wasatch 56, Spanish Fork 55, Provo 50. I mean, we could go on, but all these games have been decided by 10 points or less up until the last couple. And really, those scores have been deceiving because Spanish Fork ran away with some free throws at the end of some of those.
Nerves can become a factor when you get this late in region play, especially if that region starts to congeal a little closer and closer. You know these games are going to be extremely important. You've got to make those free throws, and those nerves have got to go away.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that pans out for the Dons. But nevertheless, Hunter Schofield, 28 points. Taylor Anderson with 17. You pick one of the 2 for the MVP Sports MVP of the game.
Let's go ahead and give it to Taylor Anderson. I don't think he's gotten it this season. Hunter Schofield, we could name it the Hunter Schofield MVP, but Taylor Anderson came in and hit some big 3-point shots and kept them in this ball game, it felt like, in the second half, where it looked like Provo might just run away and have a 15-point victory.
Absolutely. He had 10 points all by himself in that fourth quarter, and that was big in keeping the Dons in it. But also, you had 10 points from Hunter Schofield in the same quarter, again finishing with 28. But we want to congratulate again Taylor Anderson for being tonight's MVP Sports MVP of the game. MVP Sports located at 72 North Main in Spanish Fork. 798-3587 is the number you can reach them, or online at mvpsportsutah.com. If you haven't been to MVP Sports and you're a Spanish Fork citizen, you have a serious problem. You need to start shopping local.
I think we might have to add something to their city bill.
Yeah,
And
I think so too.
Also, make sure you go and check out our other sponsors, Doug Smith down there on Main Street, and then the Car Guys.
Yep, Doug Smith and the Car Guys, only a few blocks away. They're competitors, but they're friends with us here on Spanish Fork 17. Doug Smith Auto, located just under the overpass as you go northbound on Main Street.
1341 North Main.
You remember where Barber Brothers was? That's where it is. Remember where Menholt Chevrolet was? So that's where it is. Okay, so we're clear there.
Hey, Doug.
Hey, Doug. So anyway, we want to thank also the Car Guys for sponsoring tonight's instant replay. They are located at 872 North Main in Spanish Fork, 794-0077. Online, the Car Guys, ut.net.
.net.
I got it. Anyway, a heartbreaker for the Dons here at home. Everybody in the staff picked Spanish Fork to win.
Yeah.
I, along with several others, picked Maple Mountain to lose. I'm 0 for 2 tonight. How about you?
I went 0 for 2 as well.
Chris and I are not the Zook. Nevertheless, we want to thank you for joining us. 64-58 is your final here at Spanish Fork High School. I'm Alan Huff. Chris Hurst joining me tonight, along with all of our staff from Spanish Fork 17. We thank you for joining us. And until next time, so long from Spanish Fork High.